The child screamed. Her mother jumped out of bed, her heart beating fast, very fast. Little Thandiwe stood at the door, shaking, her finger pointing at the dark corner. "Mama, something is there, something small, with red eyes." Maria switched on the light. The corner was empty. Nothing there. But then she saw it, 4 deep scratches on the wall, fresh scratches. And on the floor, small, wet footprints. They came from the window, walked across the room, and stopped right next to her daughter's bed. Welcome to African Tales TV. Tonight we bring you a story that will make you check under your bed before you sleep. A story about a creature so dangerous, so evil, that millions of people across Africa raise their beds on bricks every single night. Not for style, not for fashion, but for safety, for protection. This creature is small, it is hairy. Its eyes glow red in the dark, and it hunts at night. Its name is the Tokoloshe, and after tonight, you will never forget it. In South Africa, Zimbabwe, and many countries in southern Africa, people know the Tokoloshe very well. Too well. It is not a joke. It is not a bedtime story to scare children. It is real. At least real enough that millions believe in it. Real enough that people go to court because of it. Real enough that schools close down because of it. Real enough that parents lose sleep protecting their children from it. So what is this Tokoloshe? Let me tell you. The Tokoloshe is a small creature, about the size of a young child. Some people say it is as tall as a 7-year-old, maybe shorter. Its whole body is covered with thick, dark hair, like an animal. Its eyes glow red in the darkness, bright red, like fire. Some people say it has only 1 arm and 1 leg, so it moves by hopping, jumping from place to place. Others say it can become invisible, completely invisible. It does this by swallowing a small stone or by drinking water. When it is invisible, adults cannot see it. But children can. Children always see it. But here is the most frightening part. The Tokoloshe is not born. It is not natural. It is created. Made by human hands. Made by dark magic. In Southern African culture, there are traditional healers called sangomas. These are powerful people. They talk to ancestor spirits. They give medicine. They help sick people. They give advice. They protect families from evil. Sangomas are respected. They are important in the community, but like everything in life, there is a good side and a bad side. Some sangomas use their power for good. Others use it for revenge. When someone feels very angry, very hurt, they might go to a sangoma who practices dark magic. Maybe their lover betrayed them. Maybe someone cheated them in business. Maybe they were embarrassed in public. They want revenge. They want the person who hurt them to suffer. So they pay the sangoma money, a lot of money. And the sangoma creates a tokoloshe. How do they create it? The ritual is very disturbing, very dark. It involves a dead body, usually a small person or a child. The sangoma takes this body and performs ceremonies with strong medicines and powerful words. Through this dark magic, the body comes back to life. But it is not human anymore. It is something else, something evil. It becomes a tokoloshe, and it must obey its master. It must do whatever the person who paid for it commands. Once created, the tokoloshe is sent to attack. It goes to the victim's house at night. It enters through windows, through doors, sometimes through walls. It attacks people while they sleep. It sits on their chests so they cannot breathe. It scratches them. It causes sickness. It drives people crazy. And the worst part, children see everything. Even when the tokoloshe is invisible to adults, children see it clearly. That is why children wake up screaming in the night. That is why they refuse to sleep alone. They see what adults cannot see. This is why all across southern Africa you will see beds raised on bricks, stacks of bricks, or cement blocks holding the bed high off the ground. Why? Because people believe the Tokoloshe is too short to reach someone sleeping that high up. It cannot jump that high. So if your bed is raised, you are safe. Maybe. Now you might think this is just an old story, just superstition, just something ignorant people believe. But let me tell you about real cases, recent cases, cases that happened in our time, not long ago. In 2016, something happened in South Africa that shocked many people. A woman went to court, a real court. She sued her neighbor. Why? She said her neighbor paid a sangoma to send a Tokoloshe to attack her family. This was not a joke. The court took it seriously. Very seriously. They brought in a traditional healer to testify, to explain what a Tokoloshe does and how to know if someone is being attacked. The judge listened. The lawyers asked questions. The case went on for days, because in that community, the Tokoloshe was not a myth, it was real. In 2018, in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, an entire school shut down. Not because of broken buildings, not because of disease, because of the Tokoloshe. Students saw it, teachers saw it. A small, hairy creature moving through the hallways, walking between classrooms. Children refused to go to school. They cried, they screamed. Some became sick from fear. Teachers found strange scratch marks on desks and walls, fresh scratches that appeared overnight. Parents were angry. They demanded something be done. The school tried to ignore it, but the fear was too strong. Finally, they hired a traditional healer. The healer came and performed cleansing ceremonies for 3 full days, burning herbs, chanting prayers, sprinkling special medicine around the school. Only after this did students agree to come back. Dr. Thabo Khumalo is a psychologist. He works in rural KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. In 2019, he wrote something very interesting in his medical notes. In just 1 month, 17 different patients came to his clinic. 17. They all complained about the same thing: Tokoloshe attacks. These were not crazy people. They were normal people. Farmers, teachers, shop owners, mothers. They came from different villages. They did not know each other. But they all described the same creature. Small, hairy, red eyes, evil. One case really troubled Dr. Khumalo. A woman named Zanelli brought her 8-year-old son. The boy had not slept well for 2 weeks. He had dark circles under his eyes. He was afraid to talk. When the doctor asked what was wrong, the boy took a paper and drew a picture. A small figure with 1 arm, 1 leg, and bright red eyes. The boy whispered, "It sits on my chest every night. It is so heavy. I cannot breathe. I cannot scream. I try to call my mother, but no sound comes out." Dr. Khumalo thought maybe it was sleep paralysis. This is a medical condition where you wake up but cannot move. Many people have it. Your brain wakes up, but your body is still sleeping. It is frightening, but it is natural. But then Zanelli lifted her son's shirt. 5 deep scratches ran down his back, very deep. Too deep for the boy to do himself, too perfect to be an accident. "These came 3 nights ago," Zanelli said quietly. "I heard him choking. I ran to his room. For just 1 second, I saw something small jump from his bed and go under it. When I looked under the bed, nothing was there. But these marks were fresh. They were bleeding." Dr. Khumalo had no explanation, no medical explanation for those scratches. In 2020, something happened in Alexandra, a township in Johannesburg. It started with one family, the Dlamini family. They saw something small moving between houses at night. At first, they thought it was a dog, maybe a child playing. But then their 6-year-old daughter started waking up screaming every night, always at 3 a.m., exactly 3 a.m. She said something was sitting on her, something heavy. She could not breathe. She could not move. Her parents found scratches on her arms and legs, scratches that were not there when she went to bed. The family raised the daughter's bed on bricks, high bricks. The attack stopped for 3 nights. The parents felt relief, but then it started again, worse than before. The daughter said the creature learned to jump. It could reach her even on the raised bed. Within 1 week, 3 other families in the same area reported the same thing. Same time, 3 a.m., same description. Small, hairy, red eyes. Same scratches appearing overnight. Panic spread fast, very fast. People stopped sleeping. Parents stayed awake all night watching their children. Fear controlled the township. The community collected money. They hired a famous Sangoma from Soweto to help them. The Sangoma came and performed a cleansing ritual. It took 3 full days. He burned special herbs. He chanted in old languages. He sprinkled traditional medicine around every house. On the final night, he said he trapped the Tokoloshe in a clay pot. He sealed the pot with wax and buried it far outside the township. That same night, the attack stopped. Completely. Every family slept peacefully. No more screams, no more scratches, nothing. Was it coincidence? Was it all in their minds, or was it something real? Professor Linda Mbatha teaches at the University of Cape Town. She has studied Tokoloshe beliefs for over 15 years. She has talked to hundreds of people. She has visited many communities, and she says something very interesting. Western science wants simple answers. They say it is sleep paralysis. They say it is hallucination. They say people imagine it because of cultural fears. Yes, those things are real. But I have seen too many cases that do not fit simple explanations. Physical marks appearing on many people at the same time, children in different villages describing the exact same creature without talking to each other, attacks that stop immediately after traditional ceremonies. At some point, we must ask ourselves, are we forcing our beliefs onto something that works differently than we understand? Sleep paralysis is real. It is a medical condition. It happens to people everywhere in the world. When you have sleep paralysis, you wake up but cannot move. You feel pressure on your chest. You see things that are not there. In America, people see demons or aliens. In Japan, they see spirits. In southern Africa, they see the Tokoloshe. Your brain creates images based on what you believe, what your culture teaches you. But does this explain the scratches? Does it explain why many people have the same experience at the same time? Does it explain why traditional medicine works? Maybe the Tokoloshe is something in between, not fully physical, not fully imagination. Maybe when millions of people believe something strongly enough, it becomes real in some way, not just in the mind, but in the physical world too. Or maybe, as many South Africans say, Western science is simply blind. Maybe reality is bigger and stranger than what science can measure. Here's what we know for sure. Right now, tonight, millions of people across southern Africa are sleeping in beds raised on bricks. Parents are checking under those beds before their children sleep. Traditional healers are performing protection rituals. Courts are handling Tokoloshe cases. Schools are being cleansed. And children are waking up screaming about something small and hairy with glowing red eyes. Is the Tokoloshe real? You decide. But it is real enough to leave scratches, real enough to terrify communities, real enough to close schools, real enough that modern, educated people take expensive steps to protect themselves. And tonight, somewhere in South Africa, a child will wake up unable to move. They will feel something heavy on their chest. They will see red eyes in the darkness. Their parents will run in. They will find fresh scratches, and they will check like they do every night, that the bed is high enough off the ground. Before you sleep tonight, maybe you should check under your bed. And if you enjoyed this story from African Tales TV, please subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, drop a comment, and tell us, have you ever experienced something you could not explain? Do you believe in the Tokoloshe? Have you heard stories like this from your community? Share with us in the comments below. We read every single one. And remember to share this video with your friends and family. Let them know about African Tales TV. We bring you the darkest, most mysterious stories from across Africa. Stories that will make you think. Stories that will keep you awake at night. Thank you for watching African Tales TV. Until next time, sleep well, and maybe, just maybe, raise your bed a little higher tonight.